Hey everyone, so I'm back up here in the shop. This video is going to be a little bit different than what I have been doing. I'm going to show you how to make cell phone stands for on your nightstand. It will also hold, your car keys, or there's different variations where you can make it hold a watch on the side too, but I'm not going to go that route. I'm going to make it so my cell phone will sit flat, and I'm going to have two hooks that screw in on each side that you can hang your car keys or whatever else on. The way I'm going to do it is I'm going to have this board will be going up straight, and I'll have a little, like a 1-inch tab that comes off the front that your cell phone will sit on, and then a piece that goes straight out the back, and that'll be like the stand. I believe I'm going to go with a 20-degree angle also. So, as it's sitting like this, my phone will be a 20-degree angle slanted back. So I'll have to cut that in with the saw. So this base will have the angle here to let it sit back, and there'll also have to be the board on the back that angles back too. And then this piece obviously will just be straight out the front. I'm going to use the Craig jig to fasten everything, Craig jig and glue. And I'm also going to drill a little hole for where the cell phone sits, your charging port's straight down. So I'm going to have a little hole drilled up through in the bottom, and that'll be where you can plug your phone in and still have it sit on this flat. Okay, so some of my dimensions I'm going to use are, this first piece for the back is going to be 9 inches. I came up with that because I laid my phone here. I figured 3/4 of an inch for the wood, and then a little bit of a gap that your charging cable can go up through at the bottom. You should, if you're going to be doing this, measure your phones, just make sure. My phone's pretty big, it's a Galaxy S9 Plus, so it's a pretty good sized phone. But you want to make sure you give yourself enough room that you can do everything. And this is also 3/4 inch, it's walnut. It's pretty nice wood, but it's not too expensive. Alright, so I got my rough pieces cut. I still have to do some sanding, and I have to cut the charging hole for in the front where the cell phone is going to sit down on. This is a pretty easy project, there's not a whole lot, that can go wrong. It doesn't have to be exact sizes or anything like that. And as you can see, I am making 4 of these. So, if you're a family member, this is not what you're getting for Christmas. But as you can see how they go together, you have your front piece where your cell phone is going to sit, then your back piece will go on just like that. And you can see I've already cut a 20-degree angle on that. So everything will sit right down, and this will prop it up, this back piece, and this is going to hold the cell phone. I think for doing the cell phone port, I think what I'm going to do is put 2 pieces together, back to back like this, and put them in the vise over at the drill press, and drill a bigger hole right through the center. Then I'll have like half a circle on each one. That should be plenty enough room to get the cell phone charger up through. Alright, so I am using a 7/8 inch drill bit, and I'm going to go right down between the center, leaving me with half a moon kind of on each one. That should be enough room for the cell phone charger to come up through and sit right in there. And the cell phone will sit right on top. Alright, so as you can see, I opened up the holes here. I ended up using a 1-inch drill bit. Now I'm going to drill the holes using the Craig jig, so I can fasten these like the kickstands almost to the back of the charging station. You clamp that in there, and you just drill right down through here, And here is your thickness guide that comes from Craig. You can see if you're fastening the two boards this way, you're going to use this side. This side, you go A and B, you're going this way, so I'm going to use this side here. And both boards are 3/4 inches, so 3/4 and 3/4, it's like a slide scale. So as it's set up there, it shows me I'm using the 3/4 inch jig setting, along with it's going to be the 1 1/4 screw, which will be this guy right here. So I'm going to drill these holes here. I'm just going to put 2 in each one, and then I can fasten them right onto the back part of this, and I shouldn't have to use glue or anything like that. Alright, so I'm getting the angle set here. Since I already have this cut here at like 20 degrees, I'm going to get that squared up on the table saw table here. So I'm going to get that squared up on the table here. I'm just going to slide this back piece down until it's touching and keep it square on the back of this piece right here. And when that's squared up, I'm just going to mark this off. Right like that. I'm going to know right where to fasten this piece right here to keep this flat. Alright, so right now I'm going through the sanding process. I'm going to hit it with the 60 grit sandpaper to start with. As you can see, this one is already done. I've rounded the corners off with it, and I'm kind of just using the 60 grit for the shaping of it, making sure that these pieces are nice and flat going to the front piece. And after this, I'm going to glue the front part on where your cell phone is going to sit onto. Then I'm going to go back and hit it with 120 and then 220 grit sandpaper. After that, then I'm going to be good to finish it and put the clear coat on. So I had a little bit of a change of heart in how I was planning on attaching this front piece. I was planning on gluing it on, but the more I thought about it, I didn't like that idea. So I'm going to use the drill bit that came with the Craig and just countersink holes in the back here, and then just run screws into it. That way I don't got to have any glue over anything, and I don't got to clean anything up when it comes to that. So the way I'm doing it, I'm laying the work pieces down like this, pretty much just so, you know, I kind of have the same height. The way I'm going to do it is I'm going to have this piece offset of this one. Basically, I'm going to follow this line, and the bottom is going to be even with the top for the base for the cell phone to sit, or tablet, or whatever you're going to use with this. So once it's lined up, I pretty much figured that as long as I drill straight down off of this piece, I'm going to be pretty much centered going into this, the tab that's going to be right on the front. And if you're doing it with 3/4 inch wood like I am, if you run this drill bit just enough to countersink the 1 1/4 inch screw, you're going to be okay. So, you know, I'm keeping it squared. That's pretty much squared off right there. I'm going to run this down. And pretty much right as I can see it's starting to countersink the head down in, I'm going to stop. Alright, that should be enough. It's countersunk about 1/8 of an inch down in there. So that should be plenty to, you know, keep the screws kind of hidden. I'm not too worried about hiding them either because it's in the back that you're really not going to see it down there. And then once you're ready to fasten it, you know, I leave this other piece right here that, you know, I can keep it nice and straight. You know, it's going to be level. We'll keep that right there. And now that I can see that I'm pretty much square going off of this edge right here and align it with this top edge on that front piece. I gotta switch my bit out. I'm just going to hold pressure down right here just to keep it square. I'm going to get that one started. Then I'm going to start the other side just so it doesn't move. And that one's tightened down. I can get back and tighten this side back up. And there's your phone holder. Everything's pretty much there, now it just needs finished. So now we are at one of the last parts where we're putting the polyurethane on. I have the piece sanded down and I have all the dust wiped off of it. It's also a good idea if you have a pair of rubber gloves or anything. This stuff is kind of a pain to get off of you. I'm using Minwax polyurethane. It's just semi-gloss clear. It's nothing special. So, you know, I'm sure most of you know how to use this. But I'll just show you here and speed it up probably so you guys can just see the process. So now the cell phone stands are dried up. This is after the first coat of polyurethane. As you can see in the end grains and stuff, it's soaked in pretty good, so it definitely needs another coat there. I'm going to use this 320 grit sand and block. It's pretty worn out, so it's, I don't know, it's probably a lot finer than 320 now. But it works great for, you know, if there's any air bubbles or rough spots, it takes those right out. So just make sure you clean it good after that. After you sand it, then it'll be ready for a second coat. So we now have a finished product. I have the last coat of polyurethane on it. Everything's pretty much ready to go. And as you can see here, I added little hooks on both sides to hang your car keys on. This is going to be kind of like a nightstand charging base. So another thing you could do, which it didn't really work for my application, is for this back piece of wood, you can kind of cut it out, like have a piece that comes over like this that you can hang a watch on. I didn't go that route because people that I'd be gifting this to use like Fitbits and stuff like that, so they wear their watches all night long, so they're not going to sit it on this. But your car keys or anything else you want to hang, I think would be useful. Like I said before too, dimensions aren't real important, you know, just make it the size that will work for you, whatever device you're going to put on it. These ones are a little oversized for a smartphone, but you know, I kind of wanted them to be a little bit versatile, you know, if somebody's going to put a tablet or anything else on it. But if you do like this video, let me know. This is the first woodworking video that I've done so far, but I do also do a lot of woodworking projects in my house. So if you do like this and you enjoy it, let me know, and I'll try to film some more projects that I've been working on. So, like always, thank you for watching, and subscribe and like the videos if you enjoyed it. So, thank you.